Hey guys, this is Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine again. Thanks for tuning back into the channel. I've gotten many emails over the past year asking me about knots. What knots should a biker know if he's going to be out in the woods or out in the bush? And I've been reluctant to throw any videos out on knots because so many other people's done it. But I keep getting the emails and it gives me the impression maybe that you guys have been waiting for me to show you something. So hang on, and I'm going to show you some knots here, at least a couple, and then we might end up doing a series on this. Hang tight. All right, welcome back. One of the emails that I got said that, I can't remember who it was, but he said he felt foolish asking me about knots. He was 46 years old. He said he really didn't know anything about knots. Well, it's not anything to be foolish over or ashamed over. I've always said that when I was growing up, my dad taught me knots, but he never told me any nomenclature or proper terms. It wasn't until I became a Boy Scout at 11 years old that I found out that a square knot was called a square knot, a fisherman's knot was called a fisherman's knot, because I was trying to get a merit badge. But I knew how to do the knots, I just didn't know the nomenclature, so don't worry about that. We're just going to go at this as if everybody's a beginner, So, with that being said, let's talk about the aspects of a rope or the components that might go into a knot. You've got your rope coiled up like this, whatever. The non-working end is going to be called the standing part or the static, because it's really not doing too much, all right? It might just be tied to a tree, or it might be laying on the ground like that. And then on this end, this is called your working end, all right? We're always going to call that the working end because more than likely, that's where the business is going to be happening at. In between the standing part and the working part, that is called the running end, all right? That's the length of rope there. That's important to know. All right, then anytime that you take that running end and cross it over itself and have that's called a loop. That's pretty simple, right? Anytime you bend it like this, that is called a bite. So now we've got the standing part, the running part, the working part, a loop, and a bite. All right, so I'm going to just put this big piece to the side, and I'm going to show you how to tie what I think is probably one of the most important knots, and it's called the bowline. And there are several different ways to do the bowline, but I'm going to show you the way that I've been taught. And I've watched videos, where everything looks backwards. That's just the way it is. That's the way it gets shot. But we're going to pretend that this is just over here, just laying around here. So we got our working end and we got our running end here. The first part is that you create what looks like a P, like this, all right? Kind of a loop that you got going here, and it creates this hole. And you are going to take your working end and you're going to come up that hole, and if you see that, it looks like you've got almost a pretzel thing going on there. Just pull that in a little bit, and then you're going to go around the bottom of the running part there, see? And then that portion that is the second loop that you made, you're just going to fold that over your working part, and you're going to pinch that from inside that first loop. That's all you're doing, and then you're going to pull that down like so. See what you're doing there? And that forms your bowline. Now there's two ways to be able to make sure to confirm that you've done it right. All right, number one, it's got this smiley face here. See that? It's got this U, and then the tongue comes hanging out. So that's the way that I teach people. It's a smiley face with the tongue coming out. And the second thing is that you know that it's right when on the inside of that loop that you made, that your working end is laying up against that running end, all right? Or up against that loop, however you want to call it, all right? So let's do that again and start it over. All right. I'm going to do this 3 times for you. All right. There you go. You got your loop, your P. You're going to come up with your working end up through the bottom of that loop, and then you're going to go up under the running part, and you're going to come back around, and it's going to it's the same part that you've been working with. See, I'm going to kind of take that back. You see what you did? You're going to go up through here, And this is still the part you're working with, even when it comes back around. And when you grab it, you're going to grab that same part right there, okay? Goes right there. You grab that and you pinch it, and you come up from the bottom and you pinch it, and then pull it down, and now you have your bowline. There it is. See there? I said I was going to do it 3 times, but I may do a fourth one here, but it's all correct there for you. Now, as I said, when my dad taught me how to do knots, he didn't say this is called a bowline. He didn't say anything like that, or loops or bites or nothing. He just said, watch this. And he made me sit there and do it over and over again. So I'm going to do it one more time, do a little bit bigger this time to show you. You know, the first loop doesn't have to be big, but depending how big you want the bowline portion of your knot to be, the more length of your rope out here on the working end has to be. So we're going to go up. Let's just start over. We're going to do that P. There's your P. And then going to go up from the bottom, right? And I'm going to go under here, under the running part, come back and up against itself. I'm just going to pinch it, but I'm going to pinch it from the inside bottom portion of my initial loop and then pull it down. There it is, okay? There's your bowline. You can make that as big as you want. There's your smiley face. See that? There's the tongue. And there is your working end up against your running end. Now, one more time, and this is how I learned it in the Boy Scouts. Same configuration, but they used a nomenclature with it. Almost like a limerick, or a limerick. All right, so you create a hole for the rabbit. The rabbits live in holes. Then the rabbit comes up out of that hole, and he goes down and around the tree and comes back in the hole, and then you are going to pinch that rabbit's head, and you are going to pull down on the tree. And there is your bowline, plain and simple. Okay. All right, you like the video? Hit that subscribe button. You're going to be entered into win our monthly drawing. This month we're giving away a folding knife in recognition of the fact we're doing folders now in the magazine. Like it and share it. And don't forget, down there on the bottom, you have to email us for us to be able to notify you that you won something. So until next time, you ride free, you live free. Keep an eye out for some more knot videos. We'll see you.